welcome back. We're back in our Oakspire tower with what might be our final episode. Today we're going to set up the big amusement park up here at the top with as many of the beaver amenities as we can, all the decorations, and hopefully both of the monuments. So we've got a little bit of work to do beforehand. Namely, this area needs power, and one little windmill probably isn't going to do it. So we're trying to pull it up from the bottom here. We've got some beavers pulling out all the metal around here, and luckily the spot they have pulled out right here is good enough to get us that power. So let's go ahead and we'll put in, you know what, let's just do this one to make sure that it makes it all the way through. We'll say that that's fairly high important. And then once they've got all of these going up, those are connected, right? They are turning. Yep, I just wasn't close enough. We can try and get it up and make a contraption of some sort to get it all the way over to here. It might look a little strange, but it should work. Over here, there is a bit of a change that I have to make. I keep forgetting to put this in. I keep meaning to do it, and since today is the last chance we might have to do it, I'm just going to put it in now. So we're going to put those two in, and that might not look like much, but what that's doing for us, we'll put one in here so that they can get over to that. What that's doing for us is during this monsoon season, I can set for height, and let's say if it's at 50 or over, it will be open, and we'll do the same thing here. And hopefully that keeps this area from flooding too much. And we'll check back on it in the future. We might need to change this around. I can't remember whether these are 50 or 45. Yeah, right now it should be closed. So we'll tweak with that a little bit just to see if we can keep this area from hopefully being underwater for too long. There we go. The beavers made quick work of that. And as soon as that guy moves away from the dynamite, we're going to blow that up. Scare him off a bit, but that's okay. We can grab these, and then they can continue to come upwards. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to get these up there, first of all. And then we're going to have to figure out how to get them up and across to actually connect into the level over here. What level is, let's say, this right here? It looks like it's 84. Is this going to tell me? This tells me it's 70. So if I have 14 above all of that, and now we need an elevator. Do we have enough room for an elevator? Yeah, we kind of do. If they would get this out of there, we could probably do an elevator there, but you know what? We'll do one from the other side. Let's do... This can come up here. This can go over here. We'll get ourselves the tiny tubeway station. There we go. That goes up. Vertical tubeways can all go up this way. And make them about that tall. Then we just start going across here. Let's do platforms. We have a bunch of mods for wider platforms. I'm still waiting for mods for taller platforms. They just don't have any. Let's see. We'll put in... Do I want a pillar? There's a metal version of the pillar, I believe, that we used at one time. That'll probably look a little bit better. Pillars with brace, staircase, pillar, pillar top. Nope. We want, maybe it's under those platforms. Metal platform. That's just the platform itself. There's the metal pillar. Metal pillar. There we go. We'll use a little bit of that science that we're trying to save up. And we'll come over here. And we'll put in... We need... We might need to make 2 of these and just take them down afterwards. There we go. Plenty of metal pillars. Now, we just go with the extra long overhangs, the 13 by 1s. There we go. And we start building all the way across here. There we go. We'll probably put these in here and then maybe drill a hole through there. I believe I have a levee, a mod for that, where I can put a power shaft through a levee. So we'll probably use that to get into the lake. Then we can just build inside there once that's all put up. Now, while we're waiting for that, I do want to make sure that I'm going to have plenty of extra to build these large-scale monuments. Right now, I have about 1.5k of just about everything, which that will generally fill a single monument, but we're doing double monuments, so it's probably a good time to go ahead and try and find some space, maybe to see if we can put in some storage. Where would be, you know what? This looks like some great space for a storage yard. So let's go ahead and just start building out our piles there. Underground pile. Yep, we'll just do a whole bunch of piles here. And we'll fill up just as much as we possibly can. We'll come this way, down across there. There we go. Those can go, those can go. You know what? I'm just going to leave that. We'll do this. Well, oh, is there a tree there or something? Oak leftover. Oak seedling. It died. Can I just pave over it? Maybe? Oh, there's the rain cycle. Let's go back to this. Well, let me just... If I can pave over everything, you would think I would be able to make something. There. Yeah, it looks like I can. I'm not 100% sure why it didn't want to let me make those there. We're going to start filling these up. Let's do... We have logs. Let's do treated planks, so we have plenty of those, because I know we're going to need a ton. We'll do metal blocks, and then we'll fill the others with some of the other stuff that we find around here. You know what? I know we're going to need lots of gears, so we'll put some gears here. There we go. Storage for... I do the gargantuan, but it seems a bit overkill. I don't need 10,000 gears. I just need a lot of gears. Okay, let's do that, that. There's the gears. What else do we need for these? Gears, treated planks, metal. Gears, treated planks, metal. Okay. So, since those don't hold quite as much... Oh, yes, they do. We'll do gears on this. Gears. Gears. And these can be for treated planks. And you can be for metal blocks for them to build up while we're waiting on other things to finish, so that we have plenty of stuff to build those with at the end. We've got our first section in here. They're still working on the power line here, but what I'd like to do is, we've got 94 beavers just sitting around doing nothing. So one of my favorite pastimes, if you've not noticed, is just to build a bunch of builders' huts so that we can build even faster. And that's what we're going to do with these 94 beavers. Let's see if we can get a whole bunch of builders' huts in here. There we go. We've got those. And I can't put one there. But if I move the road over one, I certainly could. There we go. And I put one here. Now I can take a road back here. All of these. And I can take a road over to all of these. There we go. Let's see how many beavers that takes up. We're down to 77. And we have more and more to build. Let's also maybe put in a hauling post up here. You never know, we might need it. What are you guys doing? You guys are lumberjacks. Well, you're not really doing that much at the moment, so we'll grab that. Build you. Got the entire builder's village down here. There we go. Hopefully that will speed it up just a bit. Everybody can now bring more stuff to more different places. There we go. We've got the giant aerial power shaft here in place. And what I'm going to do is I think we're going to come in this way. Probably take out these three here. Let's get the tunnels. Yep. Let's go with the underground path there. 1, 2, 3. And we'll take the path, go around here. And then once we're in there, we might just go down one, which is the general. There we go. So let's do a single dynamite here. And that should take us down to this level. Then we'll put in the power from there. We'll put in the power connector. But we got to leave this all undone until we can actually get down here and do that. Is there a way? Can I take out one more of these trees here while I'm at it? And then we'll put in stairs where it's at. Well, I guess the tree has to be gone first. So once they've got that in there, we'll go from there. They're working on the outside here, so let's go ahead and we'll start working on the inside. Let's do the tunnels. We would replace them with the power shaft tunnel, but as soon as they blew up the first one, then that would be it. They'd have to basically do something else. So I'm going to put, like, they'll have to go out to here, maybe? And then, does that look on different levels? That's weird. Not sure what's going on there. In fact, let's do that. We'll connect in this. Okay, that should be fine. There's the explosion there. So let's go ahead and let me make sure we've got that levee somewhere. The power levee. Power shafts. There it is. Powered levee. We'll do the universal one. But let's put you. Do I need a universal one? Probably not. Am I going to use a universal one? Yes, absolutely. There we go. And then they should be able to build the actual stuff from the top. So let's go ahead, take this out of here. And they'll be able to build this until somebody builds the first one in there. Because inevitably they will. The power is all in finally, which means we can, one, use this to pull in a little bit more water, because I think we're starting to lose water for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why there. But what I would like to do here is there's a deep sea water pump that we could try and set up. It does require power, and it works only for bots, but we should have some extra bots to be able to take care of that. In fact, can I? No, if I move one over, I won't be able to get to it. So can I put one in there? And then if we take the water out, maybe we can set up a power scheme to get there. Let's see if I can do one platform. Let's do a 2. There's a 2. Here's a 1 to connect them in back here. You know what? I might have to go underneath here. So let's put in, I think that's 2 down. It looks like 2 down. We'll do 2 down and then, oh, there's the bad tide. So this might be a little rough. It's 4 days, but we've got a little bit of extra water under here that we can pull out if we can get everything set up real quick for these. Let's go ahead. We'll grab another one of these. And then we need those at the same height. Kind of looks like it. Let's make all of this very important so we can get all of it in. Let's do that. And then we should be able to put in a tunnel here. Let's do tunnel. Nope, not that tunnel. Let's do this tunnel. Oops. If we go here, we go over. Well, maybe not that far over. It does not want to let me delete these, which is weird. Huh. Well, I guess whenever that one blows up, we'll just take this one out of there. And let's get these in here. There we go. Let's do the power lines. There we go. I'm going to have to pause all of these so they can get in there. And then set everything to the highest possible need for it. So let's do that. Let's set all these up to be super important. This can all be super important. There we go. We'll take the path out of here. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that there's a path in there for it. Let's grab our power here. And we'll go vertical in here. We'll do regular there. We'll pause that. Again, let's make sure everything is highest of priority. There we go. Take you out. Put you in. And pause that. And then we can just do one of these. There we go. That ought to set these up. What does this have to say? It's probably no power. Needs power to generate. Well, that's fine. We can do that too. They're getting all these in here. Once the rest of that is in there. Actually, unpause that one so they can do that. They should be able to do this one as well. Oh, they already did. They should be able to do this one, that one, that one. Yeah, they should be able to do all of those. So, hopefully once those start going, we'll be able to get a bot in here. Not sure. We have 10 open bots. I'm not sure why they're not. Oh, I know why they're not. Because there's no path to the doorway. If we can find out which side the doorway is on. It's on that side. So, now once they get the power in here, hopefully these guys kick in and they do 15 per every 2/3 of an hour. So that should be enough to save us. We hope for at least a 4-day bad tide. We'll let those finish that up. We'll come back and check on them. Just when you think you finally got enough to cover everything, the batteries go out. So we're just going to set up a whole nother wind farm over here. It looks like our 3D printer here is facing that way. I'm not sure. Probably won't be able to get out there. But what we could do is we'll put in a row here. And then we can build up from there, maybe. Let's go ahead. Grab one of those. Actually, can I just put you there? No, you won't let me put you there, of course. That would be easy. What about out this window here? You know what? Let's take out these two. Take a row down this way. And keep an eye on our power. Went ahead and added a little power over here as well. In fact, I added a whole nother... Oh, hello. We added a whole nother level as well to all of this. And then I think just for the beavers' safety, we're going to put in some... You know what? Let's put in some metal fences right along here. They should be able to build all of this. There we go. This, I'm not 100% sure how they're going to build. You know what? We might have to just put something in real quick to let them build all of this. Let's get... can I build you here? Sort of, but no. Okay. Can I do this? And then let's build... You know what? why don't we just move it back one? We'll just move it back one. Do this the easy way. We'll put you... Nope, not you. We'll put you there. And then once that explodes, we will put in a ladder down to this level so they can do all of those. Now we just need a way to connect them in. Which, for that, let's see if we can get some platforms in here. Maybe I do 2. I can go straight across somehow. How do I want to do that? Let's grab the platforms. Let's grab you. You go over there. This is probably not going to be needed. Once this is completed, I can take out this 3D printer apparatus because we shouldn't need it anymore. Let's go ahead, take you out, and will it let us build our ladder in here? Maybe for just a second. There we go. Now they can come in here. They should be able to build all of that in there. Anything else that needs this 3D apparatus? I don't see anything. Oh, they're working on this down here. That's perfectly fine. We can live with that. Once they're done here, though, we'll take it all out and then get the power over to the other side. Power. Let's go here. Let's take you out of here. And we'll just go... In fact, I'm going to wait on those because... Maybe I'll come over one more. Is there... That should be fine. We'll actually... You know what? Let's actually just do this. And... We'll come in here. Can I take this out, please? There we go. Say that's high priority. And we'll just take it across. And we'll get around there somewhere. We might take it across here and back over to here. To connect into the power station down here. They've got everything they need taken out of this, so if we go ahead and we say, yep, let's take, nope, not that. Just this, please. There we go. Take all you out of there. That leaves a ton of stuff all over the place, but hopefully they can pick it up and build some more things with it. While they do that, can I build this out the other way, maybe? Put you back, and we go. Platforms 2 here is 2 high enough. Actually, 2 may be high enough. There we go. Let's grab this. Let's grab... Does it require a 4? No, just a 3. There we go. Get the power. Come out here. Also, I am not going to need these anymore because there shouldn't be anybody up there. So, let's make an even bigger mess. There we go. Hopefully they can go around and pick up all of that extra stuff for us. Then all we got to do, one, I got to replace this. Let's get you back in there with the highest of priority, please. And we'll come around this way. And will it let me... put a platform in here? I'm not 100% sure it will. Oh, yeah, it will. Okay, so we can come through here. Let's grab one more of these. Up and around. And I need the other power block, which will go there. There we go. Now we just need to connect the last part in. It can follow this whole thing. Nope. Follow this whole thing right here. This goes around here. This goes over here. And then we can just build... How can we get to a power connection here? Because I made those, and I probably shouldn't have. But that's okay. Let's see. Can I get that one out of there? Let's find out. If I can get this one out of there. Also, let's do maybe... Can I do a 2 right there? No, I can't seem to do anything about that one right there. But if I can take that one out, then maybe because that's diagonal from there, then we can just come down and connect in. Let's go with this. Is going to be a 2. Nope, it's going to be a 1. There's a 1 and a 1, and there's the vertical ones. There's these, and that goes back over here and connects in with that. And hopefully those should all be able to be reached. Here, though, well, maybe. Where did it all go? There it all is. I need... well, I'm going to need a vertical power shaft here, it looks like. Do this. Nope. Power this one, that one. Take you out. Because we're just going to come right here. And then this will connect in here once they've got all of these built. And hopefully that'll be enough power to get things going again. It's been a few days since the last clip. The family actually got a little sick, but we're back together, and now I want to finish up the park up here. Looks like we've got a whole lot of beavers headed out to build something or other down there. But we need to get a lot of this park set up. We don't quite have as much science as we need, but that's okay. We'll start with what we can do. First of all, I'm going to put up a couple of the labor monuments here and there around the park. We're just going to scatter the monuments around, and hopefully they'll cover a lot of the area that we're going to need. Some of these maybe a little more than others. Let's see if we can get you in there. We'll toss one. How about... let's go... you know what? Let's go one here right in the middle. And then we'll do one way over here. That's a whole lot of logs, but I think we'll be okay with that. And then we'll just go down the line. Let's get in a farmer monument. We'll do another one of those right here in the middle. And then we'll space these out a little bit differently. We'll put you over here. Maybe one... how about here? That looks good. One over here to watch those fields. And we'll put one there. There we go. We need another one over here? Sure, why not? And then what do we got next? We've got the Flame of Unities. These are a slight bit larger on the area, so we'll spread all these out. We'll do something like this. Maybe one here. And then maybe just a little bit of one right there. There we go. We're starting to get all these in. We have the Brazier of Bonding. We'll get you in here. Yep. And these might end up getting moved at some point once we get some of the bigger stuff in there, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Now, I want to get in some of the other items, but we're going to have power coming up through here somehow. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and we will take these platforms out just a bit. There we go. We'll come out this way and we'll come over this way. Can we get a 3 here? Maybe if we can get the 3 in. We'll go with the 3s here. There we go. And then we need 2s here. That should work. Now we just need a way to make sure that we can actually get up here. You know what? I forgot to connect these back after we're done. So let's grab one of those so they can build that up. And we'll come down here. Connect this in. Can we... I think we should be able to get that in there. And then the question is, how do we build our power shafts along the top? Which, in all honesty, let's just see if we can get them in here. If we just put in maybe a 3 and another 2 here. And then we come out. Let's grab this. And we'll go up up one. Can they reach that level from there? I believe they can. Yeah, they should be okay. We'll do that. We'll do these. And then we just need the 3s so that they can get all of those in. Make sure we can get back up here. And I don't think we need anything else. We'll keep an eye on it and see if they can get all of those in. However, what we do want to do is go from this very end point here, which is at 3027, and go back up. Let's put in a dynamite here. Dynamite at 3027. There we go. We'll get that in, and then we'll fill that back in with the power to get more power up here. I'm getting all of those monuments up fairly quickly. We jumped all the way from 60 to 76 well-being, so that's a pretty good jump. We got our double dynamite in there, so we'll go ahead and take that out of there, but it looks like that takes out 2 pieces. It's not that big a deal. We can go ahead get our power supply in here for all the stuff that we need to put in. There we go. And then this, can we just, is this a 2 or is this a 3? I'll do a 3, and then we grab you. You know, we'll just do that. That should be just fine. They'll be able to build all of that. Are they underneath? Okay, they're coming along. They're getting all that connected in. So once that's connected in, we'll have space over here that we can put a lot of the powered items that we still have yet to put in. However, my science is not going up as quick as I would like it to. I still have 36 beavers, so what we'll start with doing is we'll just put them all to work on science in just the basic science buildings here. So if we start dropping science buildings all over the place, there we go. If I do 2 here, there we go, that'll work. That's not going to block the door on that one. It will, that's okay. I'll switch it the other way. There we go. You go that way, you go that way. 1 in here. 1 there. Yeah, that'll work. And can I get 1 here? Yep. Now I just got to connect those in. That's a little bit of extra science. There we go. And what side's the door in? Okay, let's get them over there. Well-being is still going up. Good, good. They should be okay there. Tell you what, we're not going to need this many builders either for the final phase. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove these builder areas down here. And we'll fill all this area in with scientists as well. Put all those in, hopefully in line. There we go. And once we've got all of these in, we'll go looking for maybe more places we could put these. There's a little bit of places in these hills back here. We could toss some extra ones. There we go. Where there used to be various items, we'll put you maybe there. Yeah, that looks good. We can put 1 out here, 2 out there. There we go. And maybe, just maybe, when they get that built, they will be able to take care of even more science for us. All the science huts have really helped out. We're back up to 15k science, even with the drought approaching. Not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and grab the next monument, which is the tribute to ingenuity. And we're going to have you face this way. But since you're right on top of that power supply, it should have power right away. And then we've got 4.5K left. Well, we don't have enough for the recultivator or repopulator, but we might have enough for a couple more things, such as, well, we've already got these unlocked. So let's put a couple of bulletin boards here and there, maybe. Let's see. Can I get one there? Yeah, sure. Let's do one here. And we'll do one maybe there. About over here. And here. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see if we can sneak in maybe a couple of clocks as well. There we go. We'll get that. That. Let's face you that way. And we'll put a clock there. Maybe next to this one too. On the other side of that. There we go. That looks good. Let's go ahead and get a bit of well-being in here. We have an exercise plaza. We could probably do that here. Oh, we're up to 80. That's what we want to see. Let's get the exercise plaza in. We'll put it on this side because it doesn't require... Hey, we're at 83. Now we're doing really well. We've got a wind tunnel. We'll see if we can sneak it in right behind this. There we go. The carousel needs power. It fit... It could fit right here. Which is the entrance? There's the entrance. Yep. And let's see. Anything else need power? The motivatarium needs power. We might have to remove that and move it somewhere else. Can we put you maybe here? Yeah, let's move you to there. We'll take that out. And... motivatarium. What if we shuffled this around just a bit? Sometimes you just gotta see if you can shuffle stuff. We'll put you here. Is that still connected? Let's find out if we need a power for that. There we go. That'll work just fine. And then if we take these out, what if we're to move them here and we should be okay there. Let's go ahead, put in that carousel, maybe here on the corner. There we go. Bit of a power line for it. Actually, let's make it face inwards. Just so that we have the ladder right there. Connect the power in. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Looks good. I suppose I could put a flywheel here, but it's not really going to mean too much, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's see. Is that all the ones that require power? The dance hall? I still have enough for a dance hall, so let's get one. Let's get a dance hall down here. We'll do that. And then we've got a couple places for detailers it looks like we can drop in. There we go. One there. Let's do one there. How about a couple over here? Grab some detailing there. Maybe 2 here. And then we'll go back through and make sure we're set to all the right icons for those as well. That should hopefully give us a little bit more well-being. We just got to wait for them to rebuild a little bit of this stuff. We're up to a well-being of 87, so those beavers ought to be moving pretty well and living pretty long. But I'm noticing more and more of our builder beavers are starting to not have things to do. So we're going to take them out, and we're going to redo this area into... Well, while we've got it here, we might as well... I'm not sure what that's doing over there. That must have been a misclick at one point. We're going to take this out. We're going to take this road out. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Now we just need a little bit extra power. So we're going to toss in a couple more of the windmills where we can. Let's see. Let's do that one, that one, that one. This one, this one, this one. There we go. And we will connect them all together. There we go. Those, and those. Over here, we can go up there. Let's see if we can get the power connected to the power shaft over here. Just need to go up the hill. Wouldn't be too terribly difficult. We'll just put in a bunch of those. You can go this way. Now we just got to work our way upwards toward connecting in this. That way, there's less chance of us running into any issues. Put you there, you there. There we go. Just a little backup power, just in case. That way, with all the stuff that we're tossing up at the top, hopefully this will help charge some of those batteries up. And with all those extra beavers, we can come out this way, and we can do even more science huts. Here we go. We'll just put in as many as we can back over here. Didn't think this would end up being a science corner, but that's okay. Do that, and then we might have to remove just one row here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this the other way, and then we'll have the row down at this end. So we'll just reverse that. All these can go in this way, and we'll be happy to go there. We're up to 91. We have more well-being than we've ever had before. Let's get these in, and we'll say go ahead, take out these eggplants. It's not like we're using them anyway. Get these over here, and then, yeah, that can just go there. That's fine. There we go. We'll wait for them to build that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to build it. Oh, did I forget to put in the... I did. I forgot to put in the... Oh, where'd that go? This needs to go here. Where's the entranceway? Yeah, that's fine. We'll put you in, and then they'll be able to get to all that too. We sprung back up to 35,000, which means we can get one of the major projects, and I'm going to start with the Earth Recultivator, because I think since these guys are considered Irontooth, the Earth Repopulator might be the end of the game for them, but we'll see. This is probably going to take most of our resources, so we might have to wait to build this one anyway, because I know once we load this one, then we have to load the other one as well, which takes even more resources. But while we're building this, let's go ahead and we'll do a little bit of decoration on this side. We can toss in maybe some shrubs here. There we go. And we'll toss in a regular old shrub here. There we go. That'll work. And do we want fences? We could do a little bit of a fence around here. Maybe around the edge here. There we go. Just to kind of keep people, or I guess beavers, out. Can we go? Sure. Yeah, that looks good. Let's make sure that maybe these get put in there first, though, so that we don't have to worry about those getting caught behind something. Can't see too much else that'll have a problem there. Maybe we should do a wind gauge while we're here. Yeah. Let's do one here. We'll do maybe a light over here by this. Let's toss in a couple of benches over here. Just in case they can't get into the motivatarium, they can watch from outside. Do we want to do a bell? You know what? I'm going to do a bell right there. There we go. We'll do maybe a brazier here, a brazier here, and I'll send a little bit more stuff around here. How about a fence? We'll just do fences. There we go. Hopefully they should be able to get to that. In here, let's do maybe a little sitting area entrance over here. This can come through here. You don't want to go that far. Let's do a bit of decoration here. We'll do benches all around. We'll do, you can go there. Come out and back over here. We'll put hedges here. There we go. So let's make sure we get that one in there. And we'll do maybe a metal fence here. There we go. Scarecrow. There. There. And there we go. That's what I was looking for. Maybe a nice relaxing area over here. There we go. I think that should do just fine for this side. And whenever we get done with all of this side, we'll move on to the other side. We're back up at 35,000 science. And we're about maybe a quarter to a third of the way. Build-wise, we're a little less than that. But we've got a couple more items in there than that. So we'll let them work on that. But we can finally start on our other one. And then it's just a matter of waiting for it to actually complete. We'll go ahead, we'll do this. And then we can bring a road right across here. Same thing here. We'll come across. Let's grab the bushes and we'll go around the edge. Just like we kind of did with the other one. There we go. That worked out all right. If we add decoration, why don't we do a decoration block in here? We do one on each corner. There we go. And then we put in, do we want decoration? There we go. Let's put on a bit of fire around each one. And hopefully that lets us light this area up just a little bit. That should be fine. Then in the other places, I think we can get this. We can fill in with a little bit of trees here and there. We'll just have a bit of a wooded area. There we go. I think that'll look nice. Let's do maybe a row of blueberries here, if we can, before they plant the rest of these. Blueberries. There we go. Blueberries there. Blueberries along the path. Blueberries there. Maybe some here. There we go. And then they'll just have trees surrounding each one of those. As for this area, well, let's see. Do we have anything that we could set up? Maybe some decorations. We have a little bit of that. We might be able to sneak in another clock over here, just so they know what time the launch is. Maybe a billboard next to it. There we go. And then as for anything else, we'll toss in some benches, maybe just to watch what's going on here and there. There we go. Not every square has to be perfectly filled. There we go. Let's here do this. And then can we do maybe still have the shrines around here somewhere? That's under well-being, I believe. Shrines. Why don't we do shrine, shrine, shrine. This and this. There we go. There we go. Now we just have to wait. There we have it. After a couple of cycles, we've got both of our monuments in, ready to go. We've got a little bit of work around the park done. Looking very nice. The trees are grown in. The berries are here. We've added just a little bit here and there. For example, we've got a couple of frog places in around here. This little shrine that we built up. Some nice, what are these called? The rooftop terraces. And overall, this turned out to be pretty nice. Right now, if I turn this back to 16 hours, we should get upwards of somewhere in the neighborhood of 95 to 99 well-being, which overall I think is pretty good, but it will go up a little bit higher here, especially if we launch both of these. So let's find out what happens if we launch both. We're going to launch this one first. There we go. Definitely thinking about it. Wonderful. We're going to launch our beavers as well. I'm going to take a look. There they go. Flying through the lanterns. Ooh, what a map that was. One poor beaver exploded at one point. I don't even remember when that was. 131,000 trees, 230, almost 4,000 water. A wonderful map, and the initial premise was, do mods make the game easier? In some respects, I'm going to say yes. In some respects, I'm going to say no. There's just a lot of change, depends on which mods you pick up and what you're having them do for you. But this has been a ton of fun. It was just announced that the 1.0 is coming up here soon, so we'll get back together with that. We've still got the water beaver playthrough to go through as well. But until then, just want to say thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Bye!